first, you don't have to go to the gym or sign up for a class to get a strong core and a flatter stomach. Jared Beckstrand is a physical therapist who specializes in exercise, and he's here to show us not just Pilates moves you can do at home, but we're calling these hardcore Pilates moves.
Hardcore. We go big. We go big here. No, and so as a physical therapist, I spend probably most of my day recommending exercises to people that are designed specifically to stabilize the spine, to train the core, things like that. Right along those lines, I mean, Pilates is perfect for that. There's such an emphasis on control and muscle engagement and recruitment, things like that, that it's so good at stabilizing your spine. It's also a great ab workout.
It's also really hard. I mean, Pilates is hard for someone who hasn't done it and thinks it's a slow, stretching, yoga type workout. Not true.
Right. No, totally. It's a workout. It's certainly a workout.
All right, I'm making Jared do this workout with me today. You're going to teach us some moves we can do on our living room floor. We don't need any equipment.
Totally. Yeah. And so this is, I mean, a lot of these are, again, exercises that I give to my patients as part of their home exercise program. Say, hey, we need to strengthen and stabilize your core. Here's some of the things that I recommend to you.
All right, we're hitting the mat.
Let's do it.
What's first?
And so the first thing we're going to do is called a roll up. Different than your traditional sit-up in that we're going to lay down flat on our backs.
Because the traditional sit-up is not hard enough.
Exactly.
Right?
Exactly. So this one, what we're going to do is you're really going to emphasize flattening your back out. I want you to engage that deepest layer of your spine.
So you don't want a space between your back and the mat.
So your back's going to be flat on the mat with your legs extended. Your arms start up and over your head.
Yeah.
And then what you're going to do is you're going to reach up towards the ceiling.
Oh boy, here it comes.
Then segment by segment, you're going to lift your spine up off of the floor. So it's not like a sit-up where we're using our momentum to come up. It's going to be nice and slow, just segment by segment coming right down.
What do you mean segment by segment?
Well, and so vertebrae by vertebrae. So just, you know, spine segment by segment, nice and slow as we're doing a roll up.
All right, that's the roll up. Our next one is what?
Number 2 is going to be the double leg stretch. So we're still down on our back. We're going to lift our knees up towards the floor with our legs bent. And again, I want you to flatten your back out. Try and suck in your spine towards your stomach. Okay, so we're activating that deepest abdominal layer. You're reaching down towards your knees, just like this, and then again, activate those core muscles as you lengthen your legs out and your arms come up overhead.
Oh boy!
And again, the most difficult part of this is going to be keeping your back flat against the floor, okay? It's going to want to arch up. When you're here in this fully extended position, I want you to really try to engage those abdominal muscles to keep your back flat and down against the floor.
All right, next, is a bicycle something?
And so, yeah, we're going to, well, and so it's traditionally heard as a bicycle crunch. In Pilates, they call it a crisscross. And so what you're going to do, your hands come behind your head. I don't like to lock my fingers behind my head. I'll just kind of place them to the back of your skull. You don't want to crank on your head with this. I tell people you want to maintain as much space between your ear and your shoulder as you can. Okay, so we're not using our arms to pull up. We're using our abs to lift our chest and our shoulders up off the floor.
All about the core.
Yep, and so we're right here in the starting position with the legs raised. And then as our right leg extends out, the left knee comes up as the right elbow goes towards that left knee. And then we're going to reverse it, just like that.
We're twisting. And how many repetitions of this would you do?
And so this one is about 10 touches to each side. And you bring up a good point. So that twist motion, that's going to engage the obliques, those muscles actually on the side of your core. Everything we've done so far is pretty straightforward. This is the first one where we're going to twist a little bit with it. All
right, corkscrew twist. What is this?
And so a corkscrew twist, what you're going to do, you're going to, on your back once more, with your arms extended out to your side, your feet come up towards the ceiling. And then what you're going to do is you're going to engage those core muscles as you slowly drop your legs down to the side and then down lower. And then all the way up and around. So basically,
I could afford to lower a few inches.
You're making a big circle with your feet. It's important to remember with this one, the smaller circles you do, the easier this one becomes. So when you're up here, that's kind of the easier version versus
the lower you get
when
to the ground.
Come way down to the ground. That's really going to kick on those muscles a lot more.
Okay, now when you're doing these, like when I've taken Pilates, it's so great to have this conversation with you in this position. But I always have an instructor coming over and fixing my body and tweaking it. So how do you know you're doing it right at home?
Right. Well, and so it's a little more difficult. I mean, you know, real Pilates, there's a lot more discussion on breathing and you know, inhale, exhale during this motion and that motion. At home, as long as you remember to keep your stomach sucked in and your back more or less flat to the ground, that's what we're going for.
All right, the swimmer is next. This is for your back, you say?
Yeah, one of my favorite exercises, I give this one to low back pain patients all the time. We're going to be on our stomach, just like this, with your arms out extended overhead.
Yes, sir.
Good. And then in this position, what I want you to do first is try and actually suck your belly button up off of the floor.
Okay.
Okay, so we're going to engage that deepest layer of the abdominal muscles. And then what you do is your right arm comes off of the floor, so does your left leg. And so it's kind of this swimmer motion, up and down, and again, trying to keep that belly button sucked in, up off of the floor while you're doing this.
And breathing, we hear breathing is so important during Pilates, right?
It's really difficult while you're trying to explain it to you. I'm like laboring
You're
over
awesome.
here. You betcha. No, so traditionally you exhale on the work phase. And so for example, inhale now, and then
when you're exerting the effort is when you're going to exhale out.
Exactly. Yeah.
Okay, I keep getting shots of us in the monitor. We're like finding the most flattering positions for television. All right, one more for us.
Okay, and so the one more, we were going to do the side bend.
The side bends.
And so kind of a different take on a traditional plank. And I've done enough of these. You're going to do this one.
Oh boy,
and so this one, you're going to get down. Let's put you on your left hand and on the outside of your left foot. And then the motion is, as you come up into a plank position with your hips, you're going to reach up and overhead with your arms, just like that. As you come down, just like that, perfect. You're going to let your hips down as your arm comes down.
And what am I, obliques is what I'm working
over,
here?
just like that, yep. So we're lifting, so right now you're using your left shoulder to stabilize. We're hitting the left obliques, we're hitting that left hip a little bit, and then as you reach up and make that big arc motion, we're actually doing a good stretch on that right side also.
You can feel it, I mean, you can feel it engage, and that will what? What are the body benefits that you'll get from doing this workout?
Well, and so who doesn't want six-pack abs, right? And so I mean, I'd be okay with that. it's a great way to really tone and sculpt your abs, but then again, just so much function out of this. Your back and your core is so active during so many motions that we do through daily life. It's vital that we have a strong core.
You were a good sport. Thank you for this. The hardcore workout at home Pilates. You have some other at home workouts too on your website. I totally do. Yep,
toneandtighten.com. There's a tone-and-tighten.com. Tons of at home workouts, lots with minimal equipment required. Busy moms. I designed my website around my wife being an at home busy mom. You know, these are things that you can do super easy.
Awesome. Tone and Tighten with hyphens.com. Jared, thank you.
Awesome. Thank you.